Well, good morning, West USA Realty. This is Keith Flynn, your Director of Digital Marketing here at West USA. Really excited about this morning's webinar, like usual. I'm always excited, and I hope you guys are having a great day. Thank you so much for joining us. We really look forward to having you guys on the webinar this morning. We are going to be running through Instagram Intermediate. So, going to go ahead and assume that if you're watching this, you already have an Instagram account. You use it relatively often, and you're looking to take your game to the next level. So really going to jump into some ideas, suggestions, things that you could be doing to really take your Instagram content creation to the next level, what you should be focusing on, and hopefully answer any questions you may have. Because like always, we have a live chat panel on your right-hand side there. Feel free to jump in. Any questions, comments, concerns, compliments, feel free to drop those in there, and we will work through them together. I'm fairly confident that I lost a slide or two, but just want to preface that won't have too much missing. But always, like always, feel free to email me. I'm Keith, Keith, at westusa.com. I'll be able to send over these slides to you if you'd like. You can always catch our recording after the fact on our YouTube channel, West USA YouTube channel. Not only this class webinar, but all of our webinars that we host here at West USA. We have a number of free classes, free CE classes, a number of instructors, for a full house, for a full service real estate brokerage. We have quite a bit in the offering of support for you guys. And so make sure you jump over there, take a look at our videos. And if you have any questions, you can always comment in the feed there. You can always email me, and then of course on the chat here as well. Just a mental note. Make a note. Next Thursday, it's the day before the recognized 4th of July. 4th of July falls on a Saturday this year. Most of us are observing it on a Friday. If you're like me, you're going to take Thursday off and make it a 4-day weekend. So have fun. We will not have a live webinar, but again, you can always catch us on our YouTube channel. And stay tuned for the following week, which we'll have more classes. And you can always visit westusacalendar.com for my class and all the other classes coming up. So, like always, I got to throw a shout out to our friends who always love to jump in and sponsor, help out. Big supporters, big partners, big friends of ours here at West USA. And I want to go ahead and start off with my friend Anthony Cucci with HCP Property Inspections. Great guy. Unfortunately, he's an ASU fan, but hey, we can all have some faults. Anthony, if you're on the horn, love to hear from you, buddy. What's going on? Okay.
He was just on. I think he just jumped off. I just saw him.
Yeah, he did. And then hold on. He just messaged something about his Zoom.
Oh, there he is. He's back.
Anthony, are you there, buddy? All right. Bree, we're going to rock and roll with you. We're going to figure out what's going on with Anthony. And if you haven't been on our webinar before, Bree over at VIP Mortgage, always very supportive. Great to talk to. We missed you last week, Bree, but wanted to check in and see how things are going with you.
Good. Just staying busy. So super exciting. Houses are like flying off the market right now. I think that's so exciting. I get so excited when all the agents I'm talking to are saying, that they're having a lot of success right now. So it makes me really happy to hear when agents are staying busy. So if you guys need anything from us from the lending side, so I do business development for VIP Mortgage. One of my biggest things is I like to partner with agents. My loan officers really do see it as a partnership. So that's why I like to do, sponsoring with the classes, things like that, to really bring things that are valuable to agents. One of the things that I have been doing is a virtual tour that I've talked with Keith a lot about. And so we just allow, oh, excuse me, sorry. We do a virtual tour where we have agents send us the MLS listing, and then we just create like a slideshow on Zoom and give you an opportunity to talk about your listing. And it makes it so that, with everything that's going on, it's difficult to be in person doing, like any kind of tour. So it gives you an opportunity to market that listing.
Right.
And we have now opened it up to listings outside of the Valley since it is virtual. So we're doing at this tour, we're actually having a couple of listings from Prescott. I had an agent that I was going to put one on in Tucson, but it actually just went under contract. So we're kind of trying to give people that opportunity to show outside the valley, because so many people are interested in buying those second homes that I was like, hey, let's give an opportunity to show what's out there. So that's one of my biggest passions, I think, is just really like talking to agents and finding out what is it that you guys need, and then trying to find a way to bring that to you. So if there's anything that I can do to kind of help make your business easier, let me know, and I will do my best to try and find a way to do that for you. And there's
Awesome.
Anthony.
Hey, I see him on the panel. Anthony, are you able to chat? You hear us? It's probably a little bit of a delay, so.
Let me see if I do my video, if he can see me.
Yeah. All right, cool. Well, like everything, technology is always a challenge, not only for me, for everyone else, apparently. So I feel like I'm in good company.
We can't hear
Hey guys,
you. This is funny.
sit tight. We're just trying to get Anthony.
I know. I want to be able. I'm excited to be able to see him. I haven't seen him this whole time. Can you hear me?
All right, Anthony needs to turn his microphone on, huh?
Yeah. Look at, now he's trying to figure it out. Can you hear me? I can see you.
This is funny.
Anybody who doesn't know me now knows that I'm probably one of like the goofiest people you'll ever meet.
Right? Hey, listen, if Bree can get on, come on. I'm just kidding, Bree.
I know, right? See, if I can make it work, then I feel like Anthony should be able to. I haven't figured out.
I don't want Anthony to go anywhere until we figure out what's going on with him. So I'm going to just kind of plug along here. And then when I hear him say, hey, I'm here, I'm going to stop.
I'll give him a plug really quick while he's trying to figure that out. Anthony is awesome.
Yeah.
So I've been doing stuff with West USA for probably a little over a year now, and he is always available. He does so much with so many agents. He's been a sponsor on like most of the things that I do. Right. And he's super reliable, always is there to kind of like help out whenever he can. So if you need anything, his contact information is right here down at the bottom. He's very, very involved with West USA. And I give him my, like, I'm vetting him. I definitely give him my support.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously, Anthony's been a big integral part of our partnerships here at West USA for a number of years now. For when it comes to home inspection and providing agents with a high level of service, I mean, comes from scheduling, flat rate pricing, coverage area all over the valley. I mean, there's just a number of different value propositions that I can kick out just thinking of what he provides, not only for the industry, but for our agents. And so, they've been around for a number of years.
I'm just going to let you guys talk about me.
Oh, there he is.
There he is. See, this was his plan. He just wanted to hear what we would have to say about him.
No, I couldn't get audio on the computer, so I just dialed in. So I don't even need to say anything else. I'm just gonna log out and shut up.
Right. Good, you can join us, buddy. Thank you.
No, thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you want to share what's happening with the inspection industry, man? I mean, like what's crazy out there that agents can, look out for, focus their attention on?
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. So I think, one of the biggest things, and I think I talked to a couple of the other managers, one of the biggest things I'm seeing is I'm getting a ton of calls from agents asking if the state has any kind of regulations or anything as far as COVID goes. It seems like, we went from, adjusting our new norm to weekly to kind of daily now, right? So, right. Every day is a little different. So, some of the stories I'm hearing out there is that, inspectors aren't allowing reviews in-house. They're not allowing people to come in and do a walkthrough with them and hiding kind of behind the state standards. And so the state hasn't issued any kind of guidelines or anything like that. We're obviously taking precautions based on what CDC is recommending. And our different associations obviously have recommendations too, but there's nothing to kind of actually fall behind as far as not allowing it. So your buyer should absolutely be allowed to come in and do a walkthrough on the property. They should absolutely allowed to do the review with you there. So if you're kind of getting any pushback like that, absolutely stick up for your buyer, stick up for your client, because it's absolutely allowed. The other thing I would say, and we're kind of midsummer, I can't believe we're halfway through or at the end of June already. It's a
I
little
know.
crazy. But the other thing I would say is, regardless of of COVID-19 or whatnot, it's summertime, and that means kids are home by themselves as parents are going off to work. And so whether it's an inspection, appraisal, a vendor coming in from a home warranty company or anything like that, there's got to be somebody 18 or older at the house, or those vendors won't be able to access the property. So a lot of times they're like, oh, my kid's 16, he's home from school. But there has to be an adult present. So
Right.
kind of keep that in mind. It'll avoid delays. If you're on day 9 of your inspection period or day 10 of your inspection period and there's not an adult home, we're not going to be able to do it. So kind of just keep that in mind. And yeah, I don't think I did half as good a job as you guys did bragging about me, but I certainly appreciate it. And yeah, here to help out however I can.
So I was curious, Anthony, because we refinanced recently, and we had a home inspection. They came in and super nice. She had a mask on, booties. So am I safe in saying that that's what we were looking forward to when it came to COVID-19? Like, you guys are doing everything you can to make sure you're not bringing anything in and not contracting anything, right?
Yeah, I mean, as far as like my team's concerned, absolutely. So we wipe down all of our equipment between properties. A lot of our stuff has shields on them, so we kind of rip the layer off and go to the next one. Booties, gloves, mask, absolutely, yeah, all of that. I've heard kind of stories where people are like, oh, well, don't touch the lights, don't touch the cabinets. We'll leave the cabinets open, or we'll leave the lights on for you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's great, but we're still gonna have to test the buttons, right? It's great that the light's on, but does it shut off? It's great
Sure.
that the ceiling fan on, right?
Yeah.
Awesome that the cabinets are open, you left the drawers open, but do they shut? And is there any cracks in them or anything like that? So we're still gonna have to kind of touch things and go through things. It's not like we reuse our gloves or anything like that, so those get replaced every inspection. As we come in outside and inside, we'll put a new pair of gloves on. So as far as sanitary and keeping things out, so to speak, yeah, we absolutely try to do our best to kind of minimize that impact.
Cool. That's awesome. Good to know. I know, because it's such a topic right now for everybody. Like, if anyone's coming in your house or doing any service, whether it's landscaping and bugs, pest contempt, whatever,
Yeah.
Cool.
No, for sure.
Well, as always, guys, thank you so much. Bree, Anthony, I really appreciate you taking the time this morning, chat a little bit with us, our audience, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
Thanks,
Thanks a lot, guys.
guys.
All right. Awesome.
Thanks, Bree.
Bye, Anthony.
Okay, so Instagram, guys. Okay, so I mentioned, I prefaced at the top of the webinar. I know I love using Instagram. I certainly do what I can to be consistent, grow my audience base as much as I can. As a marketer for not only West USA Realty, but as a personal branding for things that I have, my endeavors that I want to do as a entrepreneur. Instagram is fantastic in that respect, and I would hope by now, especially if you're attending this webinar, that this is in fact something that you guys want to invest more time into and really jump into. And so, making professional connections really come in handy when it comes to getting your message out there. Using social media in general is extremely advantageous for you. The statistics, the stats, the numbers, they don't lie. And so, like always, I just like to begin with a quick little recap of what's currently the statistics and the stats of what this platform has and what it can offer to you as a real estate agent. Being that there's a billion active users now monthly on Instagram, second largest, just cranking out when it comes to engagement. 500 monthly users currently right now on Instagram. 80% of those Instagram users follow a business on the platform. So, if you're into pizza and wings or breweries or, a particular pest control company or a retailer, almost virtually everyone who's using Instagram is following one of their favorite businesses, brands, product, or service. And so, as a real estate agent looking to make connections within your niche, that's going to be an awesome tool for you. 60% of Instagram users first heard of a product or a service on Instagram. And I see them all the time. And whether it's an organic post, a friend shares something, a hat, a t-shirt, an ad that someone's running on Instagram. If you live in a certain area and there's a new restaurant opening up, it's very smart for that restaurant to run ads on social media in a geographical area to market to the people who live within a 5, 10, 15-mile radius of that of that restaurant or business. And so for you guys using Instagram for your geographical areas, it's definitely going to be a great play as well. Only 34% of agents currently on Instagram, which is crazy. I'm sure that number's gone up a little bit since about a year ago I did this. Still a large number of agents who are not using Instagram, and the power of the platform, its visual elements to get the message out there and to grow your base. And so lots of opportunity out there. And so if you're on this call, I'm hoping that you're definitely in that 34th percentile. 59%, well over 60% now, millennials are the largest first-time home buyer. And so they're all on Instagram. This is the platform of their choice. This is what they like to be on. And like I always tell agents, small business owners, they ask, like, where should I be advertising? Where should I be pushing content? Reverse engineer it. Where is your audience? That's the most important thing. Where are they at? And then that's where you need to be. Look, there are a ton of different social media platforms: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, WeChat, Pinterest. I can go on for an hour, it seems like, but you don't have to be everywhere for everyone. Be where you need to be for your audience and who you're looking to get attention from. And then most importantly, when it comes to, and I love this statistic because, I'm definitely someone who likes to put my face on a lot of things. 38% of when your face is on your photo, 38% more likes. It's kind of crazy. Again, because we're connecting with people, with humans, right? So we want to follow you, see what you're doing as an influencer, as a real estate agent, as a brand manager, brand ambassador, you name it. Make sure you pop your face in there from time to time, especially when you're telling those stories you're doing behind the scenes. You're showing what it is to be an agent. People are fascinated by the storytelling aspect of it and why we do what we do. So make sure you get your face in there a few times. It helps with personal branding as well, right? All right, cool. So professional profile. If you're not already as a real estate agent, I know a lot of agents who created an account for themselves and they have a personal profile. If you want to have a professional profile, I'm going to start with this slide and I'm going to jump back to that last one. The benefits of switching from a personal to a professional are a number of different things that you wouldn't get from a pro or from a personal account. And the most important thing is insights. So if you went up into the upper right-hand corner, if you're on your Instagram app and you open your app, and in the upper right-hand corner, you'll see those three little dashes, those three lines. That's considered a hamburger in the developer's world. That is a entry point to your navigation. When you drop on, hit that navigation, a new window is going to open up for you, and that's where you're going to be able to go into and switch to a professional account. Now, don't freak out. If you do switch to a professional account, you can go back to your personal once you've seen the two. You've had a chance to kind of vet them both out, little A/B testing. Jump into the professional account and then see what gathers or what information you can get from the platform in the way of analytics. It provides your analytics on your performance, your average Instagram user, people who are basically following your account. You will start to see some information about them. And that's just a little quick screenshot of the different types of analytics they have. But you can see the power between having a business and a personal account. The insights are going to tell you things like, how many men, how many women follow you, the average age range, your location, where are they from? Are you have people following you from Phoenix, Scottsdale, Tucson, Mesa, wherever? You can break down their geographical residence, where they're located, and kind of get an idea, a little more of a profile, a demographic of who is following you on Instagram. Number three there, then you have not only their location, but what's really cool is the followers. You can see when their activity level is there. You can see what their activity level is for not only the time of day, but the days of the week. So you can get an idea of like, okay, it looks like my folks that follow me, the majority of them are most active between 12 a.m. and 6 a.m. or, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., Monday and Tuesdays, Thursdays and Fridays, however you break that down. There are some very powerful tools when it comes to using your analytics, and that can help you be more of a power user for your Instagram account, and you can start to tailor your content and really take advantage of those peak and avoid those off-peak times. And so one of the examples here given, if you see on the left-hand side, the arrow there, which points to the view your insights, that takes you into your insights tab. And there's some additional information there that will tell you on your individual posts. If you, in this case, I posted a organic engagement post in regards to how to stimulate organic engagement. And I wanted to see how that post did a week later, 2 weeks later, a month later, and so on. You can revisit any and all of your posts once you are a professional profile, and you can view the insights specifically for that content and see how that one worked out for you. Some are going to be great, some are going to be swing and a miss, but that's the whole point of making sure that you're engaged with your content. If you're going to take the time to put your information together, you're going to take your time to take great photos, do some overlays, write out a long form post, and then post that content out there. You want to go back and see, hey, did it work or did it not? And these analytics will help you determine that, which is fantastic. In this particular case, this post had 315 accounts were reached. Of the 315, 31% of those were not following West USA Realty. So that's a large number. I think that's a considerable large number. And so that's good because that helps with discoverability. Discoverability is when someone finds your content or finds your account, but they are not currently following you. So that's a first time discover. That's somebody that we want to encourage them to like us, follow us so they don't miss any of our future content. And then from there, you can see and break down the reach from there to see what specifically and how they found you. 236 of them came from the home screen. 99 of them found me through the use of a hashtag, which is awesome. We'll get into a little bit, obviously, the use of hashtags. And then, of course, 4 was other. No idea what that is. We'll move on to the next one. On the right there, you had your hashtags. And then on the far right, the last one, what I'd like to do, this is a little tip for you guys. I'd like to, a week in, maybe 2 days in, jump into the content. I want to see specifically who liked my content. And I can go through the list of everyone that liked the post. And for the most part, you're going to see they follow you, they follow you, they follow you. But every now and then, or more often, you're going to see someone who liked your post but doesn't follow you. That is a person that I want to go and engage with in a conversation. I might send them a direct message. I might follow them back, see what content they're posting, and then organically engage with them. So reciprocate. Again, remember when we talk about social media, this is a two-way street. This isn't post and ghost. This isn't just blasting, broadcasting. Because if you're not engaging and you're not having conversations and you're not reaching back out to people, that's just broadcasting. All you're doing is flipping on a switch, screaming through a microphone, and then turning it off and walking away. There's no chance for a dialogue. There's no chance to build a relationship. So the metrics are there. Jump in there, take advantage of them. Sit down for a few minutes each day. Go through your content, see who liked. If they're not following you, follow them, then DM them or respond to one of their posts and say, hey, thanks for liking my content. What specifically about it did you enjoy? Are you a real estate agent? Are you in the industry? Perhaps you're a renter or buyer. If you know someone who's looking to sell or buy in the next 6 months to a year, love to work with them. However that conversation feels natural for you to engage them, by all means, jump in there and do it. So there is switching over to your professional account. Highly recommend doing that. Those analytics are really going to help you guys with crafting your message. When you switch over to a professional account, another benefit for you is the ability to create a contact button. Now, if you look here on the screenshot of our West USA account, there is a contact button. That is going to allow you to add in your phone number, your email address, and when someone visits your page or your Instagram account, they can click on the contact button and then they're able to see the call or email information there. So again, clicking on the contact button, and then they can see your phone number or your email address. So that gives you another opportunity, another touch point as a business to get in contact, and they can obviously reach out to you and engage you much faster, and build a relationship and get them into the CRM. Another benefit for switching over to a professional account, if you haven't done so, is your ability to advertise and promote your content through the use of Facebook advertising. Now, I would imagine everybody who's on this call probably knows by now that Facebook owns Instagram. Instagram, definitely a awesome platform, was by itself for a number of years, but Facebook came in with their trove of cash and made a sweetheart deal, purchased Instagram, and the two have been married ever since. So your marketing opportunities are there. If you have a business account or a professional account through Instagram, they used to call it business, but now it's professional. But nonetheless, you're able to create ads and promote your content. And so if you've got a buyer or a seller or someone who's asking you like, hey, what are you doing to market my property? What are you doing to get some extra exposure to my listing? You can let them know that you've taken a collage of some photos, you've done an Instagram story, you've done a live video, whatever you do to choose to get some exposure for that property. You could then spend some ad dollars, promote that listing, and get some additional exposure for folks who may or may not have already been following you on Instagram. It's a great tool to also engage your local community. If you're looking to engage your audience or make an effort to connect with the local community online, you can run ads that will reach those folks who do not know about you. And specifically for the real estate market, you can focus on a specific neighborhood or geographical area. All right, so Instagram's algorithm. As promised, we were chatting about this the other day when I was talking to an agent, and they're like, I keep hearing algo, the Instagram algo, the IG algo. So there's all these buzzwords, especially if you've been doing it for a while. The Instagram algorithm is an ever-changing beast. Each year, each quarter, it seems like they're always doing something different to change up the way they determine how content is seen and in what order, what reaches discoverability into the Explorer tab. There's just a number of metrics that, for the most part, they don't go out and push this out onto the internet so that we can read up on it and learn how to do it, because then everyone would game the system. The best that we can figure out from all the experts, from marketers, for people who've been using Instagram for a number of years, is just trial by error and seeing what happens when we do certain things, use certain hashtags, post certain times a day. All those really give us some response back on how and what works best. And then obviously we kind of go through that and pass that on to you guys. All right, so the current algorithm currently uses multiple factors to decide what image or video to post. And some of the things they're including, and most importantly, is how much people engage with your content. So the why we are doing this, for two reasons. One, obviously, is for exposure. We want to get the message out there. We want people to learn about us as a real estate agent in the hopes that we can bring on more clients. But behind the scenes, really why we're doing that is because we want to show the algorithm that we are active with using Instagram. And when we are rewarded by having our content seen by more people, both within our circle and outside our circle. Those are people who are not following us. And we get our content out more quickly. So whether you post about something that the user has engaged with before in the past, meaning that maybe this is another just listing or just sold, or you're doing a community piece about a restaurant or nightlife. If it's something that you've posted before in the past and that person has engaged with you, whether a fitness video, for example, or you might notice more of a kind of content appearing in the feed that is relevant to what they've liked before in the past, chances are that will then show up again for them in the future. So when it comes to your algorithm, when I say find your niche, stay in your niche, stay with what's relevant to your industry. If you're all over the place, and you're very vague about it, that will affect the algorithm. It will actually ding you considerably. So some tips I put together for you guys to help with learning about the algorithm and getting you guys the most amount of eyeballs on your content. Number one is to be consistent. You can't drive engagement without offering content that's people want to engage with, right? So if this isn't worth something to comment on, I'm not gonna engage with you. I'm gonna just thumb through it and I'm gonna move on to the next thing and then engage with that person. And so the goal is to get people to stop scrolling, which is they call thumb stopping content. And then you need to post more frequently and consistently in order for your material to get noticed. So now I'm not talking about going nuts and just posting all the time, or they call bleeding the feed. You want to be strategic about it. So if you post at 9 a.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays and Saturdays, then stick with that time frame and make sure that in order for you to get noticed that you're consistent and so not constant. Constant can be annoying and people will get turned off by that, but consistent is very, very good, especially when it's high value content. Instagram will take notice of this and therefore it'll place it in higher status and it will help you get more followers in your feed. Now, here's a word of warning. As I mentioned, frequently and consistently could mean two different things, right? We want to be consistent, and like as I mentioned, we want to avoid bleeding the feed. So don't post in your feed, which is your feed right here, which is the your Instagram feed, not your story. Your feed, if you post back to back to back, that will devalue, and not only devalue your content, it skews the algorithm and annoys your followers, and Instagram doesn't really like that. So my rule of thumb is one feed post a day at least, or one in the morning, one at lunch, one in the afternoon. Space those out, give it more of a human feel to it. And then when it comes to your Instagram stories, 3 to 5 times a day. So I like the someone shared with me that their feed they treat as the highlights. The story is behind the scenes. So your feed is your best shared tips. 5 things you can do to increase the value of your home. One thing you can do to increase the value of your home. Maybe it's the front entryway of the home for the feed, and then in your stories is more behind the scenes, the walk talk, the tour through the house, or you're maybe you're at a restaurant, a new place that just opened up. You take a couple photos and you do some fun Instagram stories, tell the story, help engage with the community, help engage with telling a story, how you feel about the product or about the food. It's a more genuine way for real estate marketing approach. So you're supposed to be the expert. You're supposed to know about the neighborhood. And so if you're out doing it and you use Instagram stories to show your audience what's happening behind the scenes, you could feature a neighborhood, feature a restaurant, do a quick tour of a listing. Maybe you're just going to post about your lunch. We were talking about food. So, not everyone wants to see what you're eating all the time. But if it's going to showcase the neighborhood or a new place to hit up for nightlife, then it's going to be good for you. Define your account. Define what your messaging is, right? If you're a real estate agent and you're looking for first time home buyers in the Phoenix area, then that's what your Instagram account should be about. Use your handle, use your profile bio, speak directly to the audience that you're looking to target. And if that's your audience, a first time home buyer, then chances are they're a little bit of a younger demographic. So they may not be having children yet. They may be looking for nightlife. They may be looking for something downtown. They may want something a little more hip, trendy, walking distance. Go out and showcase that information and entice them. Let them know that you are an expert in that niche, that specific topic about real estate, and use your account in order to do so. Quality followers are likely to become a client, are much more valuable than a ton of unengaged followers. So, if you're having great conversations and you're chatting people up on Instagram, then you're doing the right thing. If you feel like you're pushing content out there and no one's engaging you, think about then ask yourself, what are you doing to engage? Because once you do, you'll be surprised. People will start to reciprocate. And as I mentioned, engage others. I know it sounds cheesy, but you got to give back. Again, this is a two-way street. So like, comment, share other people's content. If you're working with anybody like, Anthony and Bree, vendors, if you've got loan, title, home inspection, landscaper, you probably got a little Rolodex in your mind or in your phone of the people that you would immediately think of should someone ask you a question about a particular topic that's relevant to real estate. Ask yourself, are you following their Instagram account? Are you engaging with their content? So if you're doing those things, that's going to help you out as well. And you're help promoting another partner or vendor who works with you closely or someone that you rely on as a support for your business. So then also to use videos and Instagram stories. I can't stress this enough, guys. Videos is a huge element. And whether you're comfortable in front of the camera or you're comfortable behind the camera, use the camera. Use it to tell a story. That's the premise of Instagram. It is a highly visual platform. Again, real estate is a very highly visual industry, so they are a natural fit And so if you're using these to your advantage, they will take your message to the next level. And as I mentioned before in the past, anytime something is on a video, 95% of the message is retained when it is a video, as opposed to a static image, or even worse, 10% when it's just in text form. So if you're not already doing so, mix in your feed with some video content. You can do a 3-second to a 60-second video in your main Instagram feed. So, a quick teaser video. Hey guys, we're doing 3 tips on decluttering your home, neutralizing your home before you even think about listing it. Are you doing these 3 things? Trust me, once you do them, they're going to take your listing to the next level. That home will be ready to sell, and you'll see that in the way of offers, all cash, whatever the case may be. Time on market will be considerably smaller if you just list it as is. And then that video can then have some additional information in the content below the video. But again, you're establishing yourself as a trusted real estate agent who knows what they're talking about, and you can use your feed to do so. Instagram stories, then. So now remember, we're talking about stories. So that's when you click on the home tab here, and then it takes you into the stories, and we'll get into that a little bit here. I got some examples. When you get into the stories, you can post multiple photos, videos. You can add cool little overlays, value propositions, questions, call to action. You can link, tag others who may be in on this deal with you or helping you out. But the cool thing about Instagram stories is it disappears after 24 hours. So that creates and taps into the FOMO, the fear of missing out. And so when people see your content, they don't want to miss it. So they're going to be more apt to watching it. And they know that it's going to be more off the cuff, more casual, more just moving along the day. Walking up the driveway to show a house. Maybe you're stopping into the new Starbucks and you're chatting with the barista on the number one thing that's ordered here at this location, or what are your hours of operation. Have fun with it and showcase the area as well. Pro tip: this is an awesome opportunity for you to showcase your personality. Clients want to like you. They want to discover someone who's likable. That this is your chance for likability. And so, using your Instagram stories to showcase more of your personality. If you're someone who gets in the car and you sing, then bust out a 30-second little song to one of your favorite jams on the way to your next listing. Of course, make sure you keep both hands on the wheel and operate the vehicle at a safe distance. So that's my little disclaimer. So we're talking about Instagram stories and we're going behind the scenes, right? Next time you have a great meal in a neighborhood, or you want to post a video about a restaurant, tag the restaurant in there, throw some hashtags in as well. And then, when you tag someone in a post, a story, they get a message in their direct message, their DM, that lets them know that you did tag them in there. And I'm going to speak from firsthand knowledge on this one. If you are a West USA agent and you're posting, whether on the feed or in your stories, be sure to tag us at West USA Realty. I do manage that account. And if you tag us, do my best to either reshare the post in an Instagram feed or in the story, and then give you guys some love as well. It's important for us to engage with you just as much as we want you to engage with your clients. And so if you don't tag anyone, they never really know. So tagging, that's a little hat tip that helps out with giving some love and encourages those. Because I know when I'm tagged in something at Keith Flynn, KeithFlynn, when you tag me, I'm definitely going to see that. And then I'll be, oh, that was nice and thoughtful of them. And so now I'm going to not only respond or reshare it, but now you're on my radar. And so now I'm going to start looking at your content because you were thoughtful enough to share with me. So I'm going to reciprocate and start looking at your content. And then that's how you start to grow your following. And remember, it's not about also appeasing your audience, but you're also telling the algorithm that you are someone who is engaging. They're engaging with you. And the next time you post, you're going to see some boost, some weight, some elevation in your content and how it's dispersed. When you catch your kids doing something particularly funny, start filming it. Maybe you guys are on a road trip. Family life is relatable for a lot of buyers and sellers because ultimately that's the end goal. What I hope for most of us why we bought a house, why we're going to upgrade, why we needed a 4-bedroom as opposed to the 2. We outgrew our house after our first son. We had a 2-bedroom, 2-story. It was our starter home, bought it in '09, and got a smoking deal on it because '09 was not too profitable for a lot of people. But hey, we got into a house. We rode 8 years. We needed to upgrade. We went to a 4-bedroom house. Being a family person and having a family, that's relatable. So, if they see you have a family, you're doing things with your family. Maybe you bring your son or daughter to work day and, you have them be the cameraman. I've got a guest cameraman today and he's going to be shooting some video for us. People love that stuff, and that's the real world stuff that they want to see. Maybe your brain comes up with a brilliant analogy that relates to selling and process. So take a 15-second quick video on that and explain it to us and share your story. Or maybe you're with your clients, and if they're comfortable with it and you want to talk to them real quick, do an off the cuff interview. Hey, you're at the end of the buying process. Contract's almost closed. Maybe we're presenting the key. It's closing day. If they're cool with it, set them up ahead of time and say, I'd love to get you guys on video, share 30 seconds with us of what was great about the experience. Why did you like working with me? And then, of course, they're going to share that video with their family and friends if you tag them in it, because they want to obviously reciprocate. And then, hey, you're going to get some exposure too at the same time, right? Because now other people are learning about you. And then film yourself on a run, doing something last minute, open house, hiking, biking, anything that may have another group of folks who have the same interests as you do. And then naturally, they're going to want to see your content, especially if you're using hashtags that are relevant to the interest or the video in hand. So, encouraging engagement. So on the right-hand side there are a number of tools when we break down Instagram stories that are going to encourage engagement. And I highly recommend you using these. I see a lot of folks who just post something like, beautiful day, or at the park, or kid's birthday party. But if there's something that you can ask of your audience to encourage them to engage with you, on the right hand side there, when we go into the stickers, we go into into our Instagram story stickers. There are a number of tools that Instagram gives you that you can help with encouraging engagement. Number one is poll toll. So I think I meant to say poll tool. So not poll toll. It's a little bit of a typo there. I apologize. Your poll tool. You've got questions. DM me. You can do a quiz. The little slider there with the hearts. You just how much do you love this post? People can slide and kind of rate how they like the content. I'm using the countdown one personally. There, I did a countdown on my Instagram for last Saturday. This Saturday is my birthday, so I did a countdown to my birthday's on a Saturday this year, so doing something a little fun. I did a little countdown post. A couple people tagged on it to follow it. That'll remind them that countdown has reached its mark. It's my birthday, and then they may throw a shout out and say happy birthday. But what I want to jump into is the poll. You can create 2 options polls when clicking on the sticker button. And then you guys at the top of your app, and if you have your app open now, I can walk you through it. And I apologize again, we really can't do too much of a live environment. It's pretty technically challenging in order to do so. But when you take your photo or your video and you are ready to post it, in the top in your the very top of the screen there in your tools, there is a little sticker icon. It's a little square face. When you tap on that little square face, you can then choose the poll option, and then you can create your question to ask your folks, what do they like? A, B answer. If you use Instagram already, you've probably seen this poll before. Other people have used it. I know when they do, I like to answer because it really gives me a chance to engage with them. And then you can ask all kinds of questions. Do they like the front door on this? Should they repaint this door? What color would you paint it, black or red? Or ask for some feedback. What information should you share in your next Q&A? Would you like to see more about buying the process or more of a selling process? And then another topic would be for research. Would you be interested in a one-on-one home consultation through the use of Zoom? So, folks would like to maybe walk you through the house. They can use Zoom and you can get an idea of what they're looking to do in the way of listing or selling the house. Voting is another big one. People can vote that way, not for our elections, meaning voting on just like A or B, red or black, whatever that may be for you. So definitely take advantage of the polls. You'd be surprised, and it doesn't have to be anything detailed. It could just be something simple like maybe you're at that new restaurant and you can't decide between the number 12 and the number 13. Which one should you do? Chances are by the time they make an answer, you're going to already take one anyways, but you can get an idea of why people like certain things. And then again, encourage and engage with them in conversation. Creating highlights. For you guys who are using Instagram stories, but you may not have taken advantage of the highlights give you the ability to basically take your Instagram stories and then archive those so that people can visit them after the 24-hour mark. Now, this is something that I started to do personally on my profile. I've got two highlights. The highlights are basically categories. And you can see here, I took a screenshot of the Lauren Rosen team. Their social media, they do a fantastic job with using all the aspects and elements of the platform. And the majority of their feed, you can see there from their most recent posts, are interior shots, beautiful shots of homes. Well, then just above there, you'll see where it says Phoenix, Buckeye, Fountain Hills. They've chosen to break down their stories based on cities. And so I'd imagine this is where their listings are. And they naturally create a story. They create a story, and then that story, once it's done, they tag it into one of those highlights. And then after the 24-hour period, someone can go in and look at their past content. Now, I've got some set up for like family, social media, funny stuff, me being goofy, beer, food, those topics that are relative to the things that interest me. So those are going to look different and probably be relevant to what you want. But by extending the life of the story, you're giving them prominence in your profile so people can revisit these after the fact. Or if someone learns of you as an agent or later on, they can go back into your past stories and see all your past content. Now, this is what for the Lauren Rosen team is fantastic because this is what we call social proof. So if you're going to use categories or do highlights to showcase a specific element or aspect of you as a real estate agent and your expertise, you're a neighborhood mayor, you know your neighborhoods, your nightlife, you've categorized those into your highlights, people can go through those and see that not only do you say you're a trusted agent or a knowledgeable agent, but now I can see that there's social proof. You've actually done the things that you say you've done. Maybe one of these highlights is reviews. Maybe, you're just someone who really knows how to talk to people and you do a fantastic job of getting a soundbite from all your past clients. You post it to your Instagram stories and you have a highlight now for that story when it's done after its 24-hour life cycle. Feeds into your highlight reel, and under highlights, you have a category that's listed as client reviews or hear from my clients. And people can hear firsthand from your past clients about why they loved working with you and the benefits of doing so. Have fun with it. You can promote contests, feature new listings each week, just sold listings, whatever, however that works for you. Upgrades to a neighborhood, upgrades to the yard, things that you've done to help in the selling process. Call attention to your latest blog post. If you're a blogger, you can use the stories as well. But at the end of the day, collecting several different stories and organizing them into this themed highlight area is huge for you. And I know it's something that's on my wish list to do. Once my highlights are created, I can go back into my archive and start to categorize those. I get a lot of folks who love the Instagram stories of my daughter. She is a spitting image of me personality wise, and it freaks me out. But I get a lot of comments like, "Oh, she's so adorable," and I want to see more posts of her, not you. So I'm going to create a highlight folder for her, and then I'll start putting her funny moments in there. And at the end of the day, too, for you, you can go back and reflect and be like, "Oh my gosh, man, they grow so fast." Or remember when I just started out as an agent and I was doing $150,000 homes, and now I'm up here, in luxury property. So have fun with it, make it what you want, but archive your knowledge, archive your expertise, because that's an awesome thing to have in your back pocket. Someone ever has a question, maybe you do an FAQ, archive, so they can refer to your past questions, and in there they'll find their answers. Remember to turn your archives on. You're just going to go into your settings here, go to your settings, then to the story settings, and then make sure to save to archive. Turn that archive on. Once it does, it'll start archiving all of your content if you haven't already done so, and you guys can rock and roll from there. All right, so here's my little shot of technology. Since I couldn't actually go in a live environment, what I did was a screen grab of just a quick little thing. Basically, if I were going to post some content, what I would do, and the time it takes to create something. I have an exterior photo of a home, an Arizona home, in my camera roll. I use Canva. If you haven't been on one of my webinars before, you know I've done a couple on Canva. Check out our YouTube channel for those past classes. I'll have another one coming up when we get into July. But I use Canva, the Canva app, in order to create my content. I'm telling you guys, let these awesome apps do the work for you. You don't have to be a graphic designer. All you need is the starting elements: interior shot, exterior shot, home, whatever the case may be. So I opened up my Canva app and basically started to create a post. So I went into Instagram, and I'm going to pause that. Whoop, let's back it up. Went into my Canva app real quick, and I'm doing a search for just listed. Believe it or not, Canva's got some awesome graphic designers on hand, and they create content templates for you guys to help you get going. So, and I'm going to flip around here, and let's go ahead and see if we can't get this going. All right, cool. I'm going to narrate this as best I can. So, jumped in, just listed. Here are all the templates that I got on the first screen. I'm not going to go too far in there. I'm going to pick the first one in the upper left-hand corner. So I tap on that one, and it brings it into my canvas. So now I can edit. There was a pre-existing photo there. That's clearly not what I wanted to use. I chose the one I have from my camera roll. Using my finger, I'm moving around and adjusting it. What I'm going to do is double tap on it and move it so that I can get more of the house and a little bit of the garage in there, size it up the way I want. And then I'm going to move over to that little standard icon. I'm going to remove that icon, delete it real quick. There's a little trash can. I deleted it. And now my goal is to bring in, I'm still messing around with sizing it a little bit here with my finger. I'm going to go to my logos, which I already have archived in my uploads here. You see here. And I'm just kind of thumbing around here. No matter how much I use this thing, I always forget how to do something. So bear with me. All right, here we go. Going to scroll over to logos, which I have preloaded. I'm going to tap on one that looks good with a dark background. And, of course, I got fat fingers. So, it takes a little bit of massaging. If you've got one of those stylus pens that has the sense tip on it, perfect. But with a little bit of work, you can massage in the logo and get it into spot where you need. For the sake of this little tutorial, I'm going to leave it as is there. And then now I like the just listed, but now I'm going to change the address because the address obviously is not where we're at. So I put 123 Main Street, type in the address, or maybe you don't put the street address, you put the listing price, maybe you put, 4-bedroom, 2-bath, or an amenity, North Valley home, whatever you're going to put there. Easy to edit and to customize this Canva post for your needs. So for the most part, looks pretty good. I'm going to save this. So I'm going to tap on done. I'm going to upload that to my camera roll. I'm going to save picture as, and then from there, it's going to save down to my device. Now Canva, go ahead and Canva processes the images for me real quick, but that was what, 2-3 minutes tops? Done. Now I'm going to jump over to my Instagram app right there. I'm going to tap on the home. I'm going to go in the upper left corner and tap on the camera. Now I'm in my Instagram stories. I'm going to choose the first one, which I just made, put it into my Instagram stories. Now I'm going to tap on the font tool, and I'm going to put a little something here. Beautiful North Phoenix home. I think that's what I did. Home. Yep. So I'm typing in North Phoenix. Oh, correct, right? And I can use the slider to adjust the font size, move it up. I love the little centering line there. Now I'm going to use the poll. As I mentioned, we're going to use the poll, and I'm going to ask the question, do you guys like pavers as a driveway? Yes or no? Some people do, some people don't. I know they're hard to clean sometimes. They pick up stains. Some people seal them, some people don't. Whatever that looks like to you, but I'm just asking a simple question. Do you guys like pavers? And see who engages me. Slide that down, massage it so it's centered just under the post. And most importantly, I'm going to go back up to the sticky guy again, and I'm going to tag West USA Realty in there. And I'm going to put that. Say, now, if you're an agent with us, make sure you tag us in there, because I would love to repost this for you guys and give you some love and some additional exposure for your listing. So, and I'm going to slide that down, use my fingers to massage it, drop it in. Now, here's a little trick you guys like to do. You can only use one hashtag sticky, right? So in the stickers, there's one hashtag. If you type hashtag and then the hashtag all one word from your font tool, you can put multiple hashtags in. You can do up to 10. Now, most folks would put these hashtags in and they're like, okay, this is going to make the image look really like ugly. Why would I want these hashtags in there? I change the colors to the hashtag. I'll resize them there. I'll tap on the color tool, the color picker, and I will pick a color within the image. See that? And I shrink it down and I hide the text message in the actual image. So the text, the hashtags are still going to register with the algorithm, get me some exposure, but they're not going to make my image look all gaudy and a mess and be distracting. I really want the focal point to be on the property and the question. And so I hid my hashtags in the image by choosing the color of a background for the font and then stuffing them in there. So that's a little tip that I like to share with you guys. Pretty cool little tip. You can do up to 10. Don't make them too small. Try to find some space where you can choose a color, a static or a solid color, and then hide your hashtags in there. I had another video for you guys. I do apologize. Some reason it was too large and didn't upload. It was another kind of like real live environment on how to use your Instagram stories and some of the other tips and tricks. You've got animated GIFs, emojis in your stories. Do some searches for them. Have fun with the spacing around the Instagram story. Most importantly thing, make sure if you're going to post a story, tag somebody in there, whether if there's someone else in the photo, if there's a place in the photo, a restaurant area. If you're out and about and you're in the Phoenix area, maybe you're on a hike or a bike or walking or whatever, as a real estate agent, another best practice for you guys is use the location-based tag. Tag your location, because what happens is if someone starts to aggregate the content based on the Phoenix area, Scottsdale, or more hyper niche, Moon Valley, Norterra, your content will show up in that discoverable tab for that area. And as a real estate agent, that's a natural fit. So as always, not too many questions came rocking in here, but if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, I do apologize. I did see a number of people just log on right now. We had a time adjustment, so you're catching the tail end of this webinar. So I do apologize. We had to go from 9 to 10, not 10 to 11 today. You can catch the recording of this on our YouTube channel. We will post it in all of our closed groups. You can also email me. I'm keith@westusa.com. If you have any questions or concerns, or hey, if you want to schedule 30 minutes with me, we can go through some more fun stuff together. I've got Zoom, Skype, any number of ways to communicate. I'll be happy to work with you guys. Again, as part of our service here at West USA, take 30 minutes and work through your personal marketing and branding needs. We can jump more into using your Instagram stories, your Instagram TV. And like always, I'm happy to hear from you guys. I appreciate you following me. I'll be sure to follow back with you. And just be mindful that next week we do not have a webinar because it is the day before the recognized 4th of July weekend. So you guys have fun, be safe, and of course, you can always find all of our videos on our YouTube channel, and be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button, because when you do, you won't miss any of our future videos. You guys have been great. Have a great day. Be safe and be kind to one another. Talk to you soon.